Are you planning to build apartments in Ghana? Is it 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, or 4 bedroom? Are you planning to build up a school? Are you planning to build up an hospital? How about bridges, hotels, event centers, or any sort of community project? The Sales Company Limited got you covered. We are here to design with you, build, and complete your project for you. And we do this at an affordable price. Kindly call us on the numbers you can see on your screen. Call any of them. You can even WhatsApp us. We always got you covered. We are ready for you. We are ready to give you a nice project. Thank you. Hello, my people out there. The festive season is approaching, and gradually we'll be thinking of renovating our property, especially the painting aspects. So, this period, the Sales Company Limited is focusing on painting, how to bring to life our properties. So, in our last video, we talked about polishing, how to polish our surface before we start with our normal painting. But today, we are going to look at metals. How do we start painting our metals? Some people do use their oil paints straightforward without doing the necessary things. So these necessary things are what we are going to elaborate about them. So we are going to look at the steps that we need to consider to start painting our metals. It's very, very important. So I'm here with Mr. Steven, the co-founder of the Sales Company Limited, an engineer who has taken several roles in construction and also the finishing aspect, including painting as well. So we are here to discuss about these aspects. Don't make this mistake. Good. Mr. Steven, welcome.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Yeah, our festive season is approaching.
Yes.
And very soon, most of our people will start doing renovation works, painting, and all those stuff.
Yes.
So this time around, I would like us to look at the painting of metal objects. Yeah, so that people will not make these mistakes. So let's look at the mistakes people do first, then we correct it.
Okay, so fast forward. You know, in painting, we have a lot of method that we use to do painting, be it of wall surface, be it of metal surfaces. But it depends on how you treat the surface. It depends on how you prepare the surface before applying your paint, whether by rolling, by dipping, by spraying, or by brushing. So it depends on the method that you want to use in applying. Yeah. So this afternoon we are going to focus on how to paint metal surface. How to paint metal surface. Step by steps involved. You know, when you go around, maybe especially welders that do bugger-proof gate works and other metal or regular proofing works for us. Mostly when you visit them at their shops, the kind of paintings they do to our metal surfaces, when you are there, you will not be happy with
It's
it.
not appealing at
But
all.
it depends whether you understand the work before you know what they are doing. Because we don't consider those things. Sometimes they bring the surface or the metal or the gates or the bugger proof to you to install. Within 1 year or 2 years, you see the paint peeling off.
And even 1 year is even more.
Yes, 1 year is even
Even
more.
more,
Yes, the paint is peeling off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they say they have prepared the surface very well and then applying the paint. But it has happened again. Why? Because the surface has not been prepared well. Second, the kind of priming they should do to a particular surface or a particular material to be used for a particular surface has not been used. So they just get to the market and get a cheaper one and then come and spray for you, and that's all.
That's all.
So we want to consider those things today.
Okay. So let's look at it this way. So assuming it is an old metal surface which has already been painted. Yeah. What do we have to do first before either spraying or painting? Then we'll look at a new surface.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, you need to wire brush it. Scrape off the loose paint from the entire surface. If possible, you scrape off. But not possible, you use the wire brush to scrape off the old paint so that it can be ready for dusting and then, or maybe sanding, because you need to sandpaper the entire surface, dust it off before you go into the type of paint you should go in.
Whether you want to spray or you want to paint.
Yes. In painting,
Yeah.
We consider painting by rolling, which we use that kind of roller to apply it, and we also use brush to apply it onto the surface. We can also take the object and then dip into the paint, so that is dipping.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Or we can also spray, use a compressor together with the gun to spray. So we have ways of applying paint onto a surface. Yes. Either wall surface, plastered surface, metal surface, yeah, or any other metal, galvanized and co. So it depends the method you want to use.
That's great. So after the surface has been polished, we quickly go into or start with the painting.
Yes, when we know some of the surfaces are old, but some are sound, meaning you don't need to do much of the works around it. Some are unsound, meaning you have to scrape off the loose paints or wire brushing to let them off from the surface, because as soon as you don't do that and you paint, definitely the paint will start peeling off.
Okay.
Yes.
So how about if there is rusting? If there is rusting,
yes,
do we have to? Is there a method of?
Yes, that is the wire brushing that you need to use the wire brush to remove the dust or the rust from the surface before you go into the first coat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming the rusting is huge, it's a big. Let's say the rusting is huge. We do a touches.
Yes, when it's more on the surface, you definitely have to reduce it. Use your wire brush to scrape.
Okay.
To remove the dust off, and to remove the rust off. Since you've seen it like that, then you must know that there's supposed to be a primer for you to use, which is any primer containing rust.
Okay.
To mitigate the rust.
Okay.
Yes.
So I do remember in our last video, we talked about some filler works. Here too, do you do filler?
Yes, but you need to apply the first coat before you do the filler.
So I think that's the difference between the wall and the metal.
No, all of them you have to do filler works. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll come to that. But today we are focusing on metal surfaces. How to paint metal surfaces step by step in trying to paint the metal surfaces. But now, before you do the priming, your surface is well clean. You've done the preparation and the surface is well clean. Then you do the dust of the surface. So in applying the primer, we have the anti-rust, we have the galvanized primer, we have a lot of primers that are in the system. Now it depends on the type of metal that you have that will let you go in for a particular primer.
Okay.
So you don't go to the market, you see red oxide,
Then you buy.
and then you buy. Meanwhile, you have a galvanized surface. You go to the market, then you go and buy red oxide, which is not suitable for galvanized surface. Galvanized surface is supposed to receive a galvanized primer to withstand any other conditions that will be imposed onto that particular surface. Yes, you are in a beach area, the sea breeze, or you are closer to the sea. The sea breeze and cold will let your surface get rusted.
Yes.
You have to go in for the red oxide, a particular or other anti-rust priming coats that can resist or withstand any kind of sea breeze or things that will let your surface get rusted.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so we have other priming codes that we need to also consider, because depending on the surface, the metal surface, then the type of primer that you need to use. A primer like etching primer, that one is for smooth metal surfaces which are prone to finish failure.
Okay.
Some of the surfaces can fail you just because they are smooth and you don't know how to treat it, and you apply the paint onto it, it will start removing.
Okay.
So there are certain primer that we need to use for a particular surface. Yeah, that is what I want to differentiate. Yeah, and the galvanized primer too. So we need to use for galvanized surfaces only.
All right. So if we may get it clear, the first thing you need to do is to just clear the surface.
Prepare the surface thoroughly. Yes.
Then you apply your primer.
Yes.
So the primer is going to receive or is going to hold whether you are going to use the spray or whatever paint you are going to apply on the surface. So that is it, right?
Yeah, the spraying is the method of application.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so when you apply the primer, it's serving as a barrier for the undercoat and the finishing paint that will be applied. So it's preparing a very good ground for any underlying paint that will come.
Good.
Yes, that is how. Yeah.
Good. So this is what we need to know before starting with our painting of metal surface.
So viewers, if you giving out a job to a welder, especially gates, burger-proof, balustrade, and others, and other metal surfaces work, make sure they use the right priming coats for a particular metal surface to avoid future defects.
Thank you, Mr. Steven. Thank you a lot. So, viewers, of late, materials are expensive. You can buy a good material, but how to go about it? I mean, how to, or let's say, its application, if you feel you've wasted money, you've really wasted money. So please, and please again, let's try to follow these advices, these simple methods. It will really help us to save money in whatever we are doing. So today, this is what we are discussing about. We prepared the surface of metals. So in our next video, we'll continue from there. Thank you very much.